All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to NParks Spotlight. My name is Leslie. I am a manager at the National Biodiversity Centre, and I will be your host for today. We are very excited to showcase the richness of our biodiversity with this new series. Every Saturday from 10:30 to 11:30 in the morning, our in-house experts will be sharing about different types of local flora and fauna, and you can tune in online. Register to be part of our Zoom session or watch the live stream on the NParks SG YouTube channel. These are the talks for the month of June. The Zoom sessions have been fully subscribed, but you can tune into the live stream and the links will be shared in our Zoom chat right here. So there'll be more talks in July. So look out for registration details on the NParks Facebook and Instagram pages. This is our program for today. I'll start with an introduction to provide some background for what we do at the National Biodiversity Centre. For those who attended last Saturday's talk, this will be a summary of Mr. Lim Liang Jim's presentation, so it won't be a complete repeat. Then we'll get the ball rolling with a fun quiz, so have your smartphones ready for that. This will be followed by Let's Talk About Turtles, presented by Mr. Koh Kwan Siong. So during this time, if you have any questions, you can submit them for the Q&A right after. And how you can do this is to send me, Leslie, a private message via the Zoom chat. Do note that in the interest of time, we will only be able to present a few questions before wrapping up the session. So let's begin. In our first session, the Group Director of the National Biodiversity Centre, Mr. Lim Liang Jim, took the opportunity to explain how we continue to enrich and protect our biodiversity. Our initial aspirations were for a garden city, and then a city in a garden. Once we had succeeded with greening our little red dot, it was time to aim higher. It's no longer just about greening our streetscape with trees and flowers, but also augmenting and helping nature to thrive, making habitats livable for species, and in turn building a conducive home for us humans. This vista is probably unique in the world, and it needs a robust plan that everyone can follow. Introducing the Nature Conservation Master Plan. Launched in 2015, it has these 4 key thrusts, providing a multifaceted framework to building our city in nature. I'll take you through each one of them in summary to offer you a glimpse of what we do hand in hand with the community, other agencies, and organizations. First, conservation of key habitats. What we have is precious and we must protect them. The Central Catchment, Bukit Timah, Labrador Nature Reserve, Sungai Buloh Wetland Reserve, and Sisters Islands Marine Park. These are our core areas, and we have to ensure that they not only remain, but also thrive. We've built buffers around some of these core areas, nature parks that allow people to enjoy nature and do different activities like mountain biking to offload footfall from the core. Then we provide connections, not just park connectors, but increasingly nature ways as ecological corridors, with trees and shrubs planted to emulate the forest structure, provide shelter and nutrients for animals like birds and butterflies. Now we have more than 100 kilometers of these, so see if you can notice them the next time you traverse our island. Who knows, you might be able to spot some interesting species like the oriental pied hornbills. Second, habitat enhancement, restoration, and species recovery. This is a key pillar which underscores a number of the species and habitats you'll be hearing in this series of talks. I'll highlight a few examples. Mangroves are a habitat that impacts ecology and climate. The top picture shows how we've enhanced coastal habitats, such as this one at Pulau Tekong, by replanting mangroves using specially designed pots made out of rice husks. Another example is this concrete canal at Bishan Ang Mo Kio. Working together with other government agencies, we've turned it into this freshwater floodplain that you see in this picture. Now, it provides an abundant food source for visitors like migratory birds. We also work hard to recover species, particularly those that are endemic to Singapore or can only be found here. One example, the Singapore freshwater crab, or Johora singaporensis. You'll hear more about these in the series of talks. The third thrust, applied research in conservation biology and planning. Everything we do is based on science. Hard data backs our policies and decisions. Not only do we do field surveys, we also use the latest techniques. For example, when a sample of water is collected, we can use environmental DNA to identify what species have been present. We also invest in technology. Night vision camera traps allow us to see nocturnal animals that we might otherwise miss in the dense primary forests, and also sensors and drones. And finally, community stewardship and outreach in nature. This is just as important. Outreach to share with the community, such as these talks that you are attending, are one of the many ways that we engage, from nature enthusiasts and volunteers to families and schools, young and old. In the last few years, we've taken our Festival of Biodiversity to the heartlands, and people often come up to us and say, I never knew we had so many creatures in this concrete jungle. By doing all of these different programs, we hope to encourage everyone to take ownership of our biodiversity and understand that our lives are mutually dependent. I hope that this has provided a bit of context and you better understand like what we do and why we do it. And that it's a good segue into the main topic that you signed up for this morning. There is plenty more to the Nature Conservation Master Plan, and I hope that you'll take the time later on to listen to the sharing by our group director, Mr. Lim Liang Jim. The link to the video will be shared in the Zoom chat for your reference. But for now, let's get ready to learn about marine turtles with a fun quiz. To our viewers on YouTube, unfortunately, due to the slight lag in the live stream, you will not be able to take part in the quiz, but you can watch the action and maybe learn a few facts along the way. So to join the quiz, you can use your smartphone to scan the QR code or type kahoot.it into your web browser. You will then be asked to key in the game PIN. So I'll give you a couple of moments to scan the code or to go to the website. And I will be showing the game PIN again, so just hold on for that. Okay, so how this will work is that there are 5 multiple choice questions. The question and 4 possible answers will be shown on my screen, and you have to click the correct option on your phone. So try to answer as fast as you can for more points, and do note that some questions will take more than one correct answer. Okay, so just a moment more for those who want to join to sign in. Okay, let's begin. First question. How many native sea turtle species do we have? Is it 0, 1, 2, or 3? And the correct answer is that we have 2 species, the green turtle and the hawksbill turtle. Both of them are listed as critically endangered in the 2nd edition of the Singapore Red Data Book. Right. Next question. Where is Singapore's turtle hatchery located? Is it Pulau Ubin, Big Sisters Island, Small Sisters Island, or Kusu Island? And the correct answer is Small Sisters Island. So Sisters Islands are two islands located south of mainland Singapore. And in 2018, NParks launched our first turtle hatchery at the Small Sisters Island. This strategic location was chosen as it is centrally located between East Coast Park and the rest of the southern islands, which is where majority of turtle nesting activities have been recorded since 2005. Question 3. Approximately how long does it take for hawksbill turtle eggs to hatch? Is it 100 days, 60 days, 30 days, or 5 days? And the correct answer is about 2 months or 60 days. Question 4. What do hawksbill turtles eat? Is it sea anemones, jellyfish, fish, or sea sponges? Okay, and there are 3 answers accepted: sea anemones, jellyfish, and sea sponges. So different species of turtles have different diets. Hawksbill turtles are carnivorous, and these are a few types of things that they are known to eat. Okay, and the last question. You see a turtle on the beach at night. What should you do? Shine a light so it can find its way home. Call the NParks helpline. Call loudly and invite others to take a look. Or leave it alone and watch it from a distance. Okay, so you should call the NParks helpline or leave it alone and watch it from a distance. So the turtle might have come onto the beach to nest. So you should keep a distance from it and call the NParks helpline to report the sighting. Shining lights or making loud noises may startle it and it could cause it to leave without laying its eggs. In addition, you should stay clear of any tracks left behind by the turtle, as this is what researchers and NPark staff will use to identify its species and also locate its nest. Okay, so let's see our top scorers. So in third place, we have Casey. Second place. And right on top of first place, we have Hui Min. So thank you everyone for taking part and congratulations to our winners. So you've just learned a few facts about marine turtles, and I hope that you are all excited to learn some more from our very own Mr. Koh Kwan Siong. So Kwan Siong is a senior manager at the National Biodiversity Centre from the Coastal and Marine Branch, and he'll be sharing with us what he knows. So if you have any questions, you can send them to me via a private message in the Zoom chat, and we will select a few to present during the Q&A later on. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Kwan Siong.
Okay. Hey, hi, everybody. A very good morning to all of you. Okay. Yep. So I see that there's quite a number of participants. Around half of you have actually answered most of the questions correctly, lah. So I think this crowd is kind of well informed, and of course not discounting the rest that we actually share information and our knowledge together lah. Okay, and here is what we're going to talk about. Okay, I'm going to give you a very brief cover on what are sea turtles and its typical life cycle, how a sea turtle would live to its reproductive uh, uh, age, and then and during this reproductive stage, how what are the threats at different phases she's going to face, and what you can actually do when you encounter a sea turtle in our shores. And that's where NParks will come in, and I'm going to tell you more about the conservation efforts we have in terms, with regards to the conservation of sea turtles. Okay, so very briefly, sea turtles are reptiles, and there are 7 species of them, with most of them are in globally endangered status. We are great to have hawksbill turtle and green turtles as our residents in our local waters. We rarely see them, but during nesting seasons, we will be able to see hawksbill turtles coming up to nest. That means, yeah, to basically lay clutches of eggs, and that's when our efforts come in. Okay, there was a question in the quiz that mentioned about the diet. So I think half of you got it wrong regarding the diet of turtle. Yes, so actually the leatherbacks are the ones that has been always used as an example to uh, uh, to talk about them eating plastic bags instead of jellyfish during their foraging, when they are foraging for food. So they to many, it may not be obvious that there are other species of sea turtles. For instance, the green turtles and hawksbills we have in our waters, right? One is actually a herbivores, one is a carnivores. So, yep, they have different diets. Okay, so when you see a sea turtle pops its head up in the water to catch its breath, right? How do you identify them? Okay, the clearest, as in the easiest way to identify from the head, right? It will be to look at the scutes, which are also known as the scales that are above their eyes. And if you see 2 pairs of them, it will be a hawksbill turtle. If it is a pair of elongated scutes above their eyes, then that would be a green turtle. But no worries, it is actually um, um, an interesting sight to see a turtle even popping out its head in the water. So in any case, for that kind of case, don't need to call us. You can only when incidences where they come in to nest, then you would we'll tell you how to inform us lah in later slides. Okay, a typical life cycle of a turtle would let's start from the egg stage. Okay, they will take 2 months to hatch, and then they proceed on to the sea, and then swim into the open ocean for a good 12 to 15 years. And this is known as the lost years, as there are very little information gathered for this stage of a turtle's life. And when it is starting to reach its sexual maturation, um, around 20 to 30 years, that is the time where they have already migrated as they feed along the way without, probably without gaining a lot of awareness of where they are. But interestingly, during their season to breed, they actually are able to migrate back to a common area which she know in her life of her journey, right, to go towards that place and this breeding ritual will happen. And after she mates, she will be migrating back to where it first emerged as a hatchlings, and then proceed on with her life to lay her eggs. It is a very amazing phenomenon, because like, how would a turtle be able to um, yeah find its way back without any compass with them or GPS? So yeah, it is something that really amazed me when I come to read when it comes to reading about reading journals about sea turtles. So during this period, we call it the breeding the nesting period. It is around 3 to 4 months, and they actually visit their uh, beach that it first emerged from, uh, at an interval of every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, she will produce and develop fertilized eggs, and then she will hit up the shore and then dig a chamber and lay her eggs. Yeah, so each season she would do it 3 to 4 times before she gets totally exhausted, and she'll move and migrate back to where she came from. Yeah. So let's go into the specifics of a nesting mother. He Okay, interesting findings from scientists is that actually the nesting mother survives the nesting season uh, with her fats reserves. Okay, so that means in the midst of this 3 to 4 year intervals, as you have seen earlier on, that they do not really nest yearly, uh, they actually build up fats reserves in preparation for reproduction. Why so? Because as we have the carapace, which is the top of the turtle, and the bottom plate, yeah, that are solid. If we are gonna, if she's gonna house the eggs, right? She's not like a human, who can, get can conceive a baby that is outside the body. So, in order to do that, right, she has to make space, provide a cavity for a temporary storage of her eggs after fertilization. And that's when she'll beach and lay the entire clutch. So when a nesting mother beaches and look for a suitable spot for uh, digging an egg chamber, right? For us, like in the context of Singapore, uh, our mothers actually prefer vegetative cover, meaning it can come from it can range from grass to shades, so that I think this is kind of an adaptive mechanism they have to actually keep the temperature of their nest regulated as of what they feel they 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 think they are suitable for the offsprings lah. So okay, I have a little video here where I can show you how she dig her nest. Yep. Yeah, these are anglers on the beach of East Coast, who are very surprised by the nesting incident, and they were the ones who informed us, and our colleagues went down to attend to the case so that we can assess the situation of the nesting, whether we need to shift them or we can let it incubate at its existing location. So you see, her movements are very sharp and with a lot of strength. Yeah. Okay. So after she dug and she laid all her eggs, she carried. So she will return back to the sea, and then she will reside in our waters. Uh, yeah, it can range from Tekong side to probably Sentosa side. As in the range is quite big, but it's still within our waters to develop the next batch of eggs for laying. And she can be quite precise to go back to the similar stretch of beach that she previously where she laid her first batch of eggs. So what are the threats that a nesting mother would encounter would be disturbances, any type of disturbances like light. Okay, but in this case where you see actually the anglers who found the nesting mother, right, they are actually shining the light at the back of the turtle. I'm not saying that they should do that. It would definitely disturb her, but depending on the context, the mother might not have even seen them before the anglers actually caught a glimpse at the back of the turtle. So it as of most recommendation, never shine light on a turtle when you see them beaching, because you will deter them and they will go back to the sea if they are not happy. So this is some images that we took from previous years of of surveys during uh, 2018 and 2017. Okay, what we gathered from incidences that, you know, when people call us up to say that there are sighting of turtles. One of it is one of the public took a picture of a nesting mother that goes all the way up to the tracks, and obviously she might be disoriented by the lights in that area. And then there's a lady over there, then I think she's taking picture as well. So basically there are a lot of disturbances that will deter a mother from laying, and when she gets her orientation right, she will head straight back to the water. And from the picture below, is another turtle that are uh, actually what I'm trying to show here is that nesting mother actually had an injured back flipper. So she kind of because when we reached there and we observed her whole nesting behavior, she wasn't using uh, yeah her flippers properly. So we do not know whether she got injured when she's on her way up, or when she's trying to dig or things like that. So you can see that there are a lot of litter over there that may deter or even injure the turtle in the process when they are doing their uh, uh, chamber digging. Another possible deterrent or threats to disturb them, to deter them from nesting. Okay, you can see here, these are actually tracks of a turtle. It actually does a U-turn and then head back straight to the waters. Why? Because there's a bund here, an eroded berm that did not allow her to get up to the main beach, so that she can find a suitable spot for laying. Okay, this is also one of the video that our public has sent us when they inform us there's a turtle incident, there's a turtle related sighting. So then this is what happens. The first thing is they are shining light actually from the back, but then eventually they hit the face right at the front of the turtle. So the turtle is actually making a U-turn already. Then, you know, with the noise and the lights and stuff, she doesn't even know whether she should move forward or or in the direction she can get to safety lah. Turtle is very vulnerable because they spend all their life in water except to beach and lay their eggs. And yeah, the courage to beach and nest, right, actually is quite a stressful situation. So we try not to stress them too much when they are, yeah, they are nesting. Okay, let's go to hatchlings. Okay, for hatchlings, right, after 55 to 60 days of incubation, they actually hatch in the nest. And when they are in the nest, they actually wait for the siblings around them to actually hatch as well. And at the same time, they will absorb their remaining embryo, egg, their yolk back into their body so that they have the full strength to do the paddling, the very vigorous paddling out of the water, out into the main sea. Okay, reptiles, as these turtles are, their sex are determined by temperature. So as a general rule, you can say that girls are hot and boys are cool. Yeah. So the warmer eggs at after 29.5 degrees are going to turn into females, and those that are below that will be males. Okay, they once they wait for their siblings to be ready with enough energy to face the world, right? They actually do um, do the paddling all together. Okay, because one turtle or a few turtles, when they do it themselves, right, they're gonna get very tired, and eventually, with that pile of sand on them, they might not be able to hit the surface. So it kind of, um, yeah, it is kind of a nature instinct, at such a young age, that they are able to, you know, sense this movement to make sure that, oh, okay, I have enough, I gathered enough strength, and then we can make the effort to push everything through to the top together. Oops. Okay, so emergence, yeah, actually, yeah, so I was just saying that, I was saying just now that there's a lot of vibrations underneath when all the hatchlings are actually paddling together, and that allowed them to come up as a whole batch while they actually shifted all the sand to the bottom. So while, the staff from Sentosa, as in Tammy, who is trying to inform her boss about the hatchling already, emerging, then later you see her expression. Damn epic. Oh shit, you can't see my presentation. Sorry, Leslie.
Yep.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are. It's working perfectly now, Kwan Siong.
Okay, can. Okay, maybe I fast forward a bit because I just got a message that they can't see my screen. Okay. Yeah, so you can see that when the turtles head up, right, they actually keep popping their head. They keep popping their head. I'm not very sure what is this action. I mean, of course, to get a view and things like that. But it happens so many times that, yeah, probably that's worth looking into in terms of behavior of hatchlings and stuff, to see whether it has something to do with how they imprint. That means to basically get adapt an idea of their immediate environments and things like that, to make them be able to come back after 30 years, to nest at the same beaches and things like that. You see? 80% of them are heading the correct direction. And slowly the rest are turning to the same direction without knowing where the sea is. Oh, never get tired watching this. Amazing, right? Oh, okay. Okay, that's all for this. Okay, so what happens when all these hatchling emerge? Usually hatchlings will emerge at night, so that I mean, they actually get the cue from a drop in temperature, when the night falls, and then they will start this rigorous movement to get themselves up to the surface. And when this happens, they move towards the brightest part of a natural environment they can see, which is usually uh, yeah, a line uh, that that is formed between the sky and the sea. There will be this something like a twilight zone that is very bright that they will head towards. And this process of them heading towards the waters, right, towards the horizon line, they actually do imprinting along the way. That means they would actually get cues of their immediate environment to, and be ingrained in their memory lah. That includes things they touch and the material they touch and it can be any substance they touch. So actually, scientists has advised that as much as possible, even us handling hatchlings are, are are not permissible unless there's a need to, because our oil that is on the surface of our skin can get onto them, and it may affect how they respond to natural cues in life later on. Okay, so the other, yeah, once they hit the water, right, they will go into a swimming frenzy mode. That means they will go into vigorous paddling, and hence they would not want they would do this so much that with enough reserves from what they absorb from the yolk, right, they will be able to hit the open sea. And for them to do so, they have to actually uh, paddle in a certain pattern that we call it torpedoing, as when I have a little video here, but I don't think you will be able to see here, but no worries. It is just an action of them keeping their four flippers up on their carapace, and then letting the waves carry them at intervals of time. So the threats of the hatchlings are similar to the sea turtles, the mums. Actually, the mums are trying to find a suitable spot where there is real darkness, so that when when the hatchlings emerge, right, they will be able to head towards the brightest light, which is supposedly the horizon line. But as urban beaches like ours, it is unavoidable to have street lights and things like that. But we are very fortunate that hawksbill turtles, being the critically endangered species, they they gave uh, our beaches a chance to basically allow them to nest, and it has been successful for most of their attempts so far, unless there are situations where we could not foresee lah. Okay, the other problem, predation of eggs by the monitor lizards. It is a threat to the hatchling as well as when they are in their egg stage. Um, Another one is the axial rotation of the egg. What I meant here is, for eggs, right, that are laid after a certain period of time, they actually the yolk actually sets its position at the top of the egg, the egg membrane. So when you shift in any inappropriate positions, right, it actually risk tearing the membrane of the yolk that actually get stuck onto the shell membrane, and hence even if you it may be a kind act of you trying to save those eggs from further predation from monitor lizards or things like that. When you shift them accidentally, that whole batch of eggs that you have salvaged may be a wasted effort. So that's where when you're in this talk, we will tell you more about how you can deal with such situation. When you are on the shore and you see a nesting mother coming up, the first thing is no lights. Don't turn on lights, because that's the precise place they have landed, because it is darker than the rest of the place to attempt to nest. And then of course flashes, no flashes, meaning no taking of pictures, because accidental flash may just strike out and there you go, she will go back. So keep a distance from them. What do I mean by distance is not your safe distancing, 1 meter, 2 meter, then the virus cannot spread. Our distance is you should be able to barely see the nesting turtle. That will be a safe distance. Okay, and what you can also do is, if it actually attracts a crowd, right, you can help to tell this excited member of public, as excited as you are, right, you can say, hey guys, why not we just shift back a little more, push them as away from the nesting mother as possible, so that she will not turn back and head back to the sea. What's with the concern of heading back to the sea is, if she heads back to the sea, it risks that she will not have sufficient time to explore other places to lay her eggs. And then where she'll lay it? She'll lay it in the sea. Yeah, so the whole batch of eggs is gone. So anybody who disturbs nesting mothers actually are responsible for losing the entire clutch of eggs. Yeah, partially, or 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 indirectly. So the best thing is you call the NParks helpline. You have it here, 1-800-471-7300. Yeah, and we will get our team of more experienced staff to advise on to assess your current situation and do the best approach to follow up. So a picture here with red lights. This is actually a good practice when we do beach patrol. We actually shine a red light so that it does not disturb turtle so much. But the thing is, it is too the shot of the photo tells us that the person is too close to the turtle, and yeah, this mother didn't lay. So what if you see another situation is, what happens when you see hatchlings on the the pathways and things like that? Most likely they are actually disoriented by the light and are shifting to a light source which is the brightest. So what you can do is you observe where are they heading to. Most of them will head to the same lamp post or light source that has the brightest light. So comb the area to actually get an idea of where all these hatchlings are actually coming from. And then do not try to put them in a plastic bag, because when you put them in a plastic bag, right, the flimsy plastic bag may suffocate them, and they may get imprinted with plastic bag while during the infancy stage of this hatchling at this stage lah. So you still call the NParks hotline to seek help. A good alternative is to go and find a card box or even uh, uh, our dustbins may have some covers you can use to contain them and keep them in the dark area before NParks come to your assistance. Along the beach, you may also encounter tracks. No signs of turtle, but tracks. So these are like tractors marks, but the thing is they came from the sea, so it shouldn't be a machine that comes out from the sea like a Loch Ness monster, then and then go back to the sea. So if you see those tracks that leads from water to shore and shore back to water, call us. We should be attending to it to see whether there's potential nesting. Okay, so when you call the hotline when an NParks officer, usually 2 or 3 of us will attend to it. What will we do? Okay, so just a little background is we have our marine turtle working group, which consists of stakeholders who are NGOs, university lecturers and volunteers. We actually came out collectively with NParks a response protocol that we adhere to, so that various parties can actually contribute officially, and it becomes a protocol to how we manage such related turtle related cases. So since 2007, we have been attending to such cases so that we are able to get a sensing of when the turtles are coming up. We are able to refine the turtle season, the period of the turtle season, and how we respond to such cases. And these are part of our study and continual research into how we better plan our conservation protocols. And sometimes even around in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., if we are able to we are able to take a call from the hotline, we will still go down and get if the situation requires to basically assist in either leading the hatchlings back into the water and things like that. Yep. So yes, we have many measures. We measure everything from the number of eggs to the turtle's carapace length and things like that. We seek to understand the Singapore's context of our turtle population. So this is a release from of stranded hatchlings that were gathered, and then we use light to hit them into the waters. Okay, and in 2018, we eventually set up our Singapore's first turtle hatchery, to do training for volunteers in terms of shifting nest and doing tagging all the sensors that has to do with hatchlings are hosted over there. We have novel use of equipment from other nature of works to actually assist us in our monitoring of our hatchlings, as well as the tidal inundation of our sand at sisters, where we actually house the eggs to incubate them naturally. And we have CCTVs that run on solar, so that the CCTV can do live feed to our apps to basically inform us about basically live feed to see the situations and alert us whether we can or we should be able to get down there and attend to the situations of an hatching a hatching event or things like that. Yeah. So every nest we actually still continue to to do a census for all the hatchlings to look at which stage of development did they cease at, so that we can better improve techniques and ways how we manage hatchlings and their nests and their nests. Sorry. Okay. We also use technology, face recognition softwares that are collaboratively used for sea turtles around the world to recognize individuals by their facial features. And yeah, we are still in the midst of exploring into that. This is one of the non-invasive methods. That means we are not actually physically tagging a turtle that so that and yet we can identify individual turtles to a high accuracy. And we host uh, uh, important people to our hatchery to actually let them know more about what we are actually doing to this very cute puppies like Karen said. So it is a great place that Singapore has started up to actually to actually raise the awareness of turtle conservation and house and to protect the hatchlings of our nesting mothers. Yeah, so this is actually a species recovery program that uh, that that is that is a key focus in our nature conservation master plan. Okay, in terms of outreach, we couldn't be doing all this thing on our own because we only had like 3 staff to run from development to outreach activities. So volunteers like you and me, any public who are interested to 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 walk a beach and look out for signs of turtle tracks and signs of yeah uh, turtles nestings, and these are actually enough for for us to basically have eyes on the ground to get a sensing or to attend to these nesting mothers before predation happens, before uh, uh, disturbances that deters them, and then make them lose an opportunity to nest. Okay, so from over the years, as in since 2017, when we started, uh, when we learned from uh, our 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 mentors in Australia, Dr. Colin Limpers, he actually taught us, how to run a hatchery proper, and what are the sensors, the background information you need to gather before we uh, decide on the approaches and the scientific methods to be applied in our studies as well as our conservation approach. So yeah, there is a steep increase in sightings as compared to the rest of the previous years, and it has yeah it is, you can see here that in 2017 we had uh, 18 sightings on nesting and landings just for that year, and it is actually equivalent to the past 5 years of sightings and nesting landing data that we have gathered, and it only keeps increasing. We have around 60 over cases in 2018, and we have 40 over cases in 2019. So for a short period of 3 years, we actually gathered lots of sighting information, up to 120 nest related sightings. We have administered and actually verified the release of successful clutches of 36 chambers of them, and it comes up to around 2,500 hatchlings over 3 years, and that's actually quite a commendable feat lah. That's for us internally to be happy about lah ourselves, because every time we see, and not only us, the volunteers, every time they see these little ones emerging innocently, and yeah, the life the moments of a new life is just so amazing that you don't find sick, or you don't find a chore doing it, at all. So what you can do is be a volunteer. Our next training is coming up because we are hitting the nesting season, and you can check out our NParks website for more details under Sisters Islands Marine Park. Yep. Okay, thank you, and every effort counts to conserving the endangered turtles in Singapore. Yep. Thanks. Yeah,
All
Leslie?
right, thank you very much, Kwan Siong, for that comprehensive overview of marine turtles and what is being done to conserve them. I think we really enjoyed how you shared with us some things that most of us don't get to experience in real life, like watching the hatchlings emerge or the mothers come up to nest. And it's clear that your team really puts in a lot of hard work, early mornings, late nights to help conserve this species. So we'll just do a really quick Q&A because we've already kind of overrun a little bit. So we'll just have one question, all right? Thank you to all those who submitted questions. We've got some really great questions, but the one which we will have Kwan Siong answer is, how do scientists know that turtles come back to the same area? How do we track them?
Oh, it's a long story, but okay. So, okay, the first scientific documentation of how turtles has returned to the same area is when Dr. Colin Limpers, he actually did markings on the carapace, the at the back of the carapace of hatchlings, and then he did to a huge number of them. So right after that they were released, as in that is probably at his time the minimal damage that he can do to indicate a permanent marking on hatchlings, such that in any time he sees another hatchlings with this nut at the back of the carapace, right, he would have recognized it as his work. So it means that it took 30 years. 30 years later, his batch of hatchlings actually came back to the same nest, to the same beach that he has released them, and that's when the first documentation of hatchlings of turtles returning to the beach was written. So how do do they really come into the same area? The area they are talking about is a range. It is not a short segment of beach with that kind of precision. That kind of precision to our East Coast Park beach is, for us, is long, but when we look at the beach in reference to his article, right, he's talking about like a 40-kilometer beach. So in our context, if a turtle who has a hatchling that has emerged from Singapore shore, she might hit East Coast Park, she might hit any of the southern islands as the home range. How do scientists track them? Very
Okay,
easy
so
nowadays.
it's like not an exact spot that they return to, but they tend to come to like roughly the same area. So are there certain like techniques or technology that we use nowadays to
Yeah.
track this?
These days, we actually tagged our first turtle with a satellite tag in May, late May this year. So yeah, it was quite an experience for us, because it's our first time doing it after after training. Our Dr. Nick Future was our trainer. He's an expert in tagging, doing satellite telemetry for turtles, and it is so honored to have him, be our mentor to teach us all these things. And we can see them on apps now. Yeah, how they move and things like that. Yeah, to great precision of between 20 to 50 meter difference. Yeah, it's very precise already. Yeah.
Okay, so to answer this question, yes, turtles do come back to about the same area, the same beaches, and to track them, we do have some technology such as the satellite tagging and even the use of apps to track them nowadays. So hope this answers the question. So we have reached the end of today's NParks Spotlight session. Thank you all for joining us. Sorry about the little technical issues along the way, but thank you so much for staying with us.
Yeah.
We hope you learn something new and that it helps you better appreciate some of Singapore's marine biodiversity. So our next talk, Treasures Beneath Our Tides, has been fully subscribed, but you can join us for the live stream on the NParks SG YouTube channel. To find out more about this series, you can scan the QR code to visit the page on the NParks website or follow our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, for updates. Also, do look out for registration details for July's talks as well. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Take care, stay safe, and have a great weekend.
Yeah, thanks guys.